Δεν χρειάζονται νέοι φόροι και δεν θα ληφθούν νέα μέτρα. Σκληρά ξεκαθαρίζει ο εκπρόσωπος του Διεθνούς Νομισματικού Ταμείου στην Αθήνα, ο Πολ Τόμσεν, σε συνέντευξη που παραχώρησε στον ΑΝΤ1 για τον Δημήτρη Κοταρίδη. Τονίζει πως έχουμε ακόμα δύσκολες μέρες μπροστά μας. Εκτιμά όμως πως η ανάκαμψη θα έρθει μέσα στο 2012.
First of all, how do you think we're doing so far?
I think the program is up to a very strong start. Targets for June were met. There were some expenditure overruns at municipalities, lower levels of government, but by overperforming at the state level, the government met the target that it had set for itself for June. As far as structural reform are concerned, I think we're off to a very impressive start with the pension reform and the labor market reform. So far, so good.
Reforms means that also maybe you'll be asking for new measures?
There are no new measures. All the policies are specified in the original memorandum. There are no new measures needed to meet the targets for 2010. What there is a need to do is for the government at the state level to continue to be very cautious in the way they execute the budget, because there are likely to be shortfalls still at sub-national level, and that will have to be offset by overperforming at the state level.
Since it is obvious that the government has some problems collecting money, getting money, do you think that, or do you suggest that new taxes should be imposed, especially in higher incomes?
There are no new taxes, no new tax rate, but what there certainly is a need to do is to enforce compliance with existing tax legislation much more strongly. And this is a key not only to get sufficient revenue, but also to be sure that the social burden is distributed in a fair and equal manner.
There are some companies in the public sector that are not doing very well, like OSE. Do you suggest that the government should sell OSE, and what's going to happen with the people that they work there?
Well, there are a number of areas like transportation and energy where there indeed is need for reforms, and that is coming up late in the year, early next year. We have discussed with general objectives for these reforms, but how exactly to achieve these objectives, that still be discussed. There are a number of options, so it's too early to go into detail. I understand that there are concern about people losing their job, but so far I think the government has been and the government is very determined that these reforms are done in a socially responsible and fair manner. So and I think that will continue to guide the government going forward.
Is there any chance that the 13th and 14th salary in the public sector will come back again after some time?
Well, it's as the economy recovers, and I'm sure will start recovering. By the end of this program period, output goes up, salaries and wages will start expanding and increase again.
There are many people here, and also political parties, that they accuse the government of not taking measures in order to help growth, to help the economy, to help unemployment. Do you think that such measures should be imposed?
I think that it's very important that the reforms are gradually focusing on measures that will promise an early recovery in output, creation of new jobs, and I think the government's plan in this regard, by liberalizing closed professions, by deregulating, by removing obstacles to development in the tourism industry and the retail sector, is doing exactly that. Growth comes from creating opportunities for people to work and improve their productivity. It doesn't come from artificially stimulating demand.
Something last, it is obvious, and I think you know that the Greek people are working hard in order to achieve this, as well as the government. What do you have to say to the Greek people?
Well, what I have to say is that I am convinced that by determined implementation of this program, you are going to see that the recession will bottom out next year, and that towards the end of next year, in 2012, you will start to see a recovery, new job opportunities, renewed growth. If we look back at the last decade before the recession, Greece had relatively high growth. It has a good potential, and I think these reforms will unlock this potential further. So I am confident that there will be growth. It will be a difficult period. Many of the difficult things are still ahead, and I'm not trying to say that it will be easy from now on. It will be difficult for another year and a half, but I definitely think that these policies promise is the only way of restoring lasting growth and lasting job creation over the long run.
Γνωρίσαμε και τον κύριο Τόμσεν, Νίκο Ρογκάκο. Πάντως, εκτός από όλα αυτά που είδαμε, ΔΕΚΟ κτλ., έγιναν συζητήσεις και για τις τράπεζες.
Ακριβώς. Όπως φαίνεται, η κυβέρνηση επεκτείνει τις εγγυήσεις